Hey everyone, and today we have the one and only Nick McLean from the McLean Realty Group. Did I say it right?
That's right.
Awesome. So Nick McLean is a real estate coach, mogul, and also the author of the Million Dollar Agent book. You can find it on Amazon. Nick McLean also is the co-founder of Reside platform, and they specialize in helping agents build their business. So welcome, Nick.
Yeah, a pleasure to be here. We
Why?
go way back. We've coached and consulted and helped grow your business, and I love seeing your progress and what you're doing and what you're giving back to all the agents out there.
I appreciate your time definitely, and I'm always watching what you're doing and watching your videos and how you're helping other agents grow their business, and it's very exciting. And I can't wait. I told you this before. I can't wait to be able to wear that shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah. It's coming soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Um, so Nick, I just want to talk today about you know a brand new agent. They just got their license and they walk into a brokerage, they sign up, and the brokerage just tells them, here's a desk and here's a phone. You pay me for the desk and you can use the phone. Go sell houses. And then what's next? What am I supposed to do as a new agent?
Yeah. Well, that experience is not unlike every other agent's experience in the real estate industry. That they show up day one, week one, excited, inspired, little fearful. Like there's some fear, there's some anxiety, but that part of that is the excitement that they're on this new journey of entrepreneurship and real estate sales and helping people and really making money. A lot of people are going from a 40-hour work week or a salary or per hour to something that's 100% commission, but with that, they're betting on themselves. They're betting that they can make more money than they've ever made before. And that money is going to give them the freedom and the independence to do what they want, when they want, with whom they want, as
Yes.
much as they want. Right. So, and for a lot of people, that money is that freedom, but it's also things. I want things. I want material things. I want to achieve what my parents never achieved, or what I want to make them proud to go above and beyond what they did before. I want to live up to their standards. I want to provide for my family, my children, my grandchildren, provide for my parents that are aging. And I know
Yeah.
they're going to need health care and they're going to need a place to go. And that was the driving force for me, was I knew I needed to, one, achieve for my parents and make them proud, but two, provide for them so that as they get older, they didn't have a retirement plan. They didn't have a 401k. They didn't have stocks. They didn't really even have much equity in their home. And so I knew at one time, looking back at my childhood, I was probably 9 or 10 years old. And I went to my mom and I said, Mom, you know, do you have a retirement account? Do you have stocks? Do you have a retirement account? And she said, Son, you are my retirement.
Wow.
I was probably 9 years old.
Yeah.
And what does that do to someone's drive as a child to go, oh my gosh, my parents, who I owe them a debt.
Yes. Yes.
They brought me into this world,
Wow.
and now I got to live up to that. So oftentimes people ask me, where do I get my drive? Well, I didn't really know what was driving me until I did the inner work and went back into my childhood with
Hmm.
times like that. Okay. So let's take it back to week one, day one. That's why you're there.
That
Like,
is
and
that
team
is true.
and team leaders realize that this agent that's joining your brokerage or your team, like that's where they're at right now. And so to show up and say, here's a desk, here's a phone. They don't even give you a phone anymore. You have to use your own dang cell phone.
That's true. Get
Get
on
to
the
work.
plan, right?
I hope you survive. Start calling your family and friends is not a proven and repeatable system. It's not a way to be successful in real estate. So, what I would do is, what I thought about this a lot. And my background, as you know, is I was a commercial airline pilot.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us
And
about that.
I was a commercial airline pilot. And, in flight training, when I got hired at my first airline, they had manuals. They had policy and procedures, they had checklists, they had systems, right? And they had
Step
business.
one, two, three, right?
Yeah, and they had business
Yeah.
flights,
Yeah.
right? To go on. So as a real estate agent, I would say this. Number one, join the brokerage, join the team that has training. Oh, by the way, new agents, this isn't, or by the way, experienced agents, this message isn't just for new agents because you need to have a beginner's mind right now. You are a new agent today. Every day you got to wake up thinking I'm a new agent and there's something I got to learn, I can refine, I can get better on, right? And maybe
That's
you're
very
an
interesting.
expert, right? There's experienced agents based on years in the industry. That's not experience. Experience is like experience that you've had that actually produce results that can be repeatable in the future. I know a lot of people that have sold homes but don't know how they did it,
So
right?
they were
I
winging it.
know, right? So if I'm going to join a team or join a broker, I'm going to do it based on training. I'm going to interview them. What's their training look like? What's your mentorship look like? What's the leadership look like?
Okay.
And like if I was coming to your marketplace, I'd say, hey, I would want to ride along with you. I'd want to shadow you. I want to be your mentee. I want to mentor,
So,
and that's not enough, but I also want specific scripts and dialogues. When I got into the airline industry, I was scared as heck to talk on the radio. Scared as heck. Until they told me, they said, Nick, you don't have to make up the words, think on your feet. We're going to tell you exactly what to say, when to say it. And in fact, we're gonna grade you on how accurate you are, clear and concise you are on the radio. So no ums, no skips, no none of that, right? It's specific, clear and concise language. So in real estate, scripts and dialogues to me are a godsend. It's like I don't want to get on the phone and wing it. I want to know exactly what to say, when to say it.
oh,
And that takes the guesswork out of this. So if I'm a new agent, training, but also what do I say and when do I say it? Do you have that for me, please?
yeah.
Because
So basically,
yeah, scripts and dialogues are battle tested, meaning people have said, a marble mouth of garbage, a word salad a million times and it didn't work, right?
so
So
I
they
can't
may
just go
be,
and be nice to people on the phone, right? I need to actually know what to say to them.
yes, it's not your business shouldn't be predicated or determined by your personality.
I like that one.
Right? Because you're a great person, you're an amazing person. I'm sure a lot of people like you, right? But that's based on your natural position. That you're limited. Or do you just become a better person or well, you can, but do you have a better personality? Be who you're not, right? We want to be genuine, don't we? So if my sales are low and it's based on personality, I need a better personality. Now I'm in judgment. Now I'm in fear. Now I'm in a little bit of resentment, right? I'm not good enough. If I'm not making sales because my personality is not good enough, I'm not good enough. What does
Yeah.
that do to your psyche? See, I wanted a business that wasn't based on my personality. It
How
was
many
based
times are you
on,
gonna change your personality though, right? How many times?
well, yeah,
That'll
there's
drive you crazy.
okay. Yeah, there's mirroring and there's definitely the art and science of sales, right? And
Yeah.
we'll get into that later. But that's not genuinely who I am. I wanted to be the guide, not the controller. I wanted to guide people to the decision of buying or selling a home. Right. So let's go back to the knowing what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to. I want to know what to say. I don't want to know when to say it. So scripts and dialogues, those are battle tested scripts and dialogues, meaning somebody over the years lost. They didn't convert, they didn't get the appointment, they didn't close the sale, and they learned from it and they changed their words. Just like a beautiful haiku, a beautiful poem that stands the test of time, a beautiful script stands the test of time. So I want those. I want to practice those with someone like you that has done them, right? Because there's a script, but then you have to internalize that script and work on it and becomes you and it's organic. And then I need to know, so let me say what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to. Now I need leads, right? It's great that I know what to say and when to say it, but I got to say it to somebody, right? So now I need leads. So what opportunities are there? Does somebody like yourself have a database? These teams and brokerages have thousands and thousands and thousands of
of leads
leads sitting there, not being called, not
waiting
being
for a phone
emailed.
call.
Yeah. I tell everyone this, like if I parachuted into your marketplace tomorrow, I don't need any new lead. Don't give me the new ones. Just give me the just give me your call list for the last 12 months, every call you didn't answer. I just want your
Right.
missed call list, right? I don't want the ones you talked to. I want the ones you didn't talk to. Right? The majority of leads, you know this to be true, have not been contacted.
Oh, this is my fault as well. Like I'm at fault with this. I have tons of leads that I haven't contacted, and I gotta admit it. It's not a good feeling that you have all these people sitting there that you know it will you will feel better about yourself when you start calling people.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, and a lot of people in your position, they have capacity. They only have so many hours and minutes in the day. And so the reason why they want to bring someone on to ride along with them is because we want to serve these people. I mean, we didn't generate these leads just to store them. Remember this, you cannot take a lead to your bank. Like so if you buy a lead or you have a lead or you have them in your database, a name, number, and email, go to Chase Bank. Go to what's a popular bank up in Canada? What's the major bank?
RBC, let's say RBC, yeah,
RBC?
Royal Bank, yeah.
Yep, Royal. Go there with a stack of leads and ask them to deposit them. They won't
Say,
take
what is
them.
this?
They won't take them. They don't take them.
Yeah.
And so you got to think about that. At the same time, for the people that have achieved, the Royal Bank won't take awards. They don't
No,
they don't take awards to the bank either. You can't take that to the bank. You can
I
only
won't
take
take the
commission
paycheck.
checks to the bank.
Yeah,
And so I want everyone to know this. The client only remembers the person that got the job done. They only remember the person that got the
true,
job done.
100%.
So I value results. Do I value a great personality, great communication, great client experience, you know, client first uh, philosophy, right? Not skipping steps, 100%. But all of that is irrelevant if you don't get them to their desired
What they
result
want.
with the buyer.
Give them what
So,
they want at the time they want.
so a lot of people get into real estate because they like people. Okay. Just observe this. Don't judge yourself. Just observe, right? Observe yourself. How much do you desire people to like you? Okay. People that like other people, they want that other people to like them. And so they avoid confrontation or anything that would um, take away from that. Okay. Because of that, they have fear of being direct, fear of closing, fear of rejection, because they feel like that could end that likingness. You
It's
don't
very
get
interesting.
paid for you don't get paid based on how much people like you. You get paid on how much you like other people. People like people that like them. Think about it. Think about all the people that you like in your life, that you love in your life. It's probably because they like you.
That makes you
So
limited.
as right?
Yeah, that will limit you to what you can do, right?
Yeah. And so I'm taking my personality out this. It's not about liking me. I don't need you to like me. I just need you to know that I like you
Mm,
as a salesperson. So learning that, and that goes to Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It
great
goes
book,
way
by the
back.
way.
It goes way back beyond
Yeah.
that, depending on wherever you're come from. You can read the Greeks, right? You can read about the Romans. You can read about religion. And I'm guarantee in all of these old wise books, they're going to be talking about that,
Same
right?
thing. Yeah, one principle.
Yeah, golden rule, platinum rules. That thing really, really matters. And so, you got to get out there and understand that. Okay, if I want people to like me, I want them to know that I like them. But I don't need them to like me because at the end of the day, they will love me when I get them their result. And so I always want the person I'm meeting to know what my goal is. And then I want that goal to become a shared goal. I call it aligning our goals. So if I'm talking to a buyer, I would go something like, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, before we go on this journey
Mm.
towards home ownership or real estate investing, I want to state what my goal is to see if we're aligned. Because I want to work with people that I'm aligned with. Don't you? Wouldn't you agree that you want to work with an agent that's aligned with your goals? Okay, let's see if we have a common goal. My goal is to get you the absolute best home that meets or exceeds your criteria, at the absolute best price, with the least amount of hassle, and in the timeline that you're seeking. Does it sound like we're on the same page? Are we on the same page here? Do we have a common goal? Now, if I'm going to a seller's house, before we get going, my goal is to get you the most money for your house. Sell it for top dollar, not middle of the market or the bottom of the market, but the top of the market. That's my goal. My brand and reputation is based on selling, getting the best result. See what I went back to? People only
Yeah,
remember the agent that gave them the result. So I'm talking about results, right? I only get paid if you sell it. I only get paid if you buy. It's okay as a real estate agent to state that to the person. We got into this settlement problem in the United States and it's coming up to Canada because we didn't state that we get paid commissions. It's like, and here's the thing about the settlement, not to get on that, but like, here's the thing. It doesn't bother me at all because I talk about commissions all the time. I want them to know I don't get paid unless I get you what you want. That's one of the most powerful things we have in our industry is that we're willing to delay our gratification only if they get what they want. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I will get you top dollar in the least amount of time on your timelines with the least amount of hassle. Does it sound like we're on the same page? Should we move forward? Is it okay that I come into your house now? Oh, that sounds like exactly what I want.
exactly.
Oh,
Always yes.
interesting.
Always yes.
Always yes, right? So, to go back to your question about a new agent, wouldn't it be nice if you knew what I just told you in year one? Because it took me 10 years to figure out what I just said. I
That's
had,
actually very, very, very heavy and powerful, you know. That's something that any agent needs to know immediately as soon as
yeah.
they start.
So as a new agent, I love this because as a new agent, you're told things take time, have patience, right? Build a business based on trust and referrals. Call your spheres, right? You're not going to make money for 6 months, right? These are all the things we're told. I was told that. Were you told the same thing? You're not
Oh
going
yeah.
to make money for 6 months. It's
You
going
have
to
enough
take
money to pay
time.
for your bills.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember being in that position going, should I tell them that I don't have money for 6 months? Like I had, when I got into real estate, I had $6,200 in my bank account. By the time I made my first sale, I had $300 and a mortgage payment due two
Wow.
days later. I think I was probably late on my mortgage payment, waiting for that commission check, right?
Cutting it close, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I after my first sale, I didn't make another first. My second sale came 13 months in the industry. I sold one home my first year. My second sale was 13 months. I was riding the bus. I couldn't even afford gas anymore. I got a bus pass and I was riding a bus to the office. Right. So I know being broke in real estate. And I remember what they were telling me and I believed it. Oh, things take time. You just gotta learn. You just gotta, observe. And I'm like, okay, here's what I realized though. That's total BS.
Yeah.
I can compress time by learning. Like the example I just gave you, what I just went over, that script took me 10 years to develop. You get it today. Are you willing to adopt it and practice it and use it? That's the question. Because if you do, you just accelerated your business. The reason I only sold one home in my first year is because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know when to say it. I didn't even think I was in sales. Nobody told me I was in sales. They told me I was in real estate.
Customer service. You know, but the thing is with that script is you have to understand when you're saying it, you have to believe it, and also you have to take your ego out of the way too, right? And that's what I think. And don't be afraid to use it. Some
Mm.
people they'll be like, "Oh, I can't say this. This is wrong," but it's not.
You got when you said you have to believe it, that the belief comes from I've seen results. I've gone out there and done it. The actions, the feedback that I've got through my experiences has given me that belief. So a lot of times sales agents say, I need to believe in the product before I can sell it. Right. And that's true. But at the same time, you haven't gone out there and taken action. Your action is going to give you the feedback you need. I mean, you can only practice so much, and then you got to go out there and get it in the fire and experience it. There's if you're not, someone says, I'm not fearful of snakes, right? I'm not fearful of snakes. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Well, there's a difference between being not fearing snakes and having a snake in your lap, right? So
Exactly.
you can role play and you can practice until you're comfortable. But until you get in front of a seller or a buyer and
It's
they ask you that objection, it's a different feeling.
everything's out.
So there's a balance here where we do need to prepare, we do need to train, we do
Yeah.
need to do that, but then we actually have to go out there and put it in play. A lot of times real estate agents, I'm just not quite ready yet. I just need a little bit more time, a little bit more practice. They're always getting ready to get ready, getting ready to get ready. So there's a little bit of balance there where you just don't go into the deep end, but you practice and then go in the deep end, then go back and practice. So this is what I want you guys to realize. You practice, you go out there and you do it, and then you reflect. That reflection on the real world experience, I call it in the military world or even in the aviation world, it's called an AAR, an after action review. What
Okay.
was the goal? What was the goal? What was the intended outcome? What actually happened?
And what can
Right?
we do to change?
And what can we do to change? Or what should we do and change moving forward? And is it too late?
I love that. Yeah.
Can we still capture the business? Can we still go back and fill in our mistakes? See, in aviation, if I went on a flight, take off and land, and something went wrong, not a total accident, and I do an AAR, I can't go back and do the same flight. I can only do it on the next flight, right? I can only move it forward. In real estate, if I go on a listing appointment or a buyer appointment or a showing and I don't get my desired result, which is probably a offer or an agreement, right? I can go back and call them. I can ask for a second appointment. You know what? I forgot to, we just met, yeah, we just met today at your house
Yeah.
and we went over the numbers and I got the feeling like you didn't really like the number I gave you based on my research. I went back to the office. Would it be okay if I go back to the office and refine and change my CMA? I'm going to do a little bit more research. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. I'm going to fine tune the numbers. After I'm done, can we meet again and I'll give you my findings? See, so many times we go and we go to this appointment and we give them what we have and we get it or we don't. And then we're like, okay, I got to learn from my mistakes here. It's like, well, wait a second. Is it over? Can we
There's
still
something else
do
I can
it?
do, right?
Yeah. I just had an agent the other day. We, we, we chose another agent to list our home. I just
What
want to
could I
let
have
you know.
done?
Okay. Oh, well, what was the difference maker or how can I learn
Yeah.
so I can, yeah. Okay. That's one way to go about it. I'll put on my big boy pants. What can I learn, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? What was the difference maker? Right. That's one way to go about it. Or another way to go about it is this. Have you signed yet? No, we haven't signed yet. Oh, okay, great. Awesome. So, what's the difference? What can I do? What did they say they would do that I failed to mention? Because maybe I do what they do and better. I just failed to mention it. Was it the price? Because you know what? I'm thinking I need to grow, refine those numbers. Right. So, like, don't give up yet. It's not over yet. Go get more information and bring it back to them. Okay, so there's a couple things there that I mean are undeniable in sales. right? Because the fortune's in the follow up. And we always think fortune in the follow up is call them, don't forget about them, follow up. True. Follow up is also follow through. It is not
Until the
over
end.
till it's not over. I mean, I have this belief too. It's a personal philosophy that I just don't give up.
Well,
And
until somebody
I
else's
love,
for sale sign.
yeah, I love this one. Like I always think about this. If I don't, I focus on the process, not the result, but I want results, right? So there's where we got to hold two things here. I think in sales, I think, and in life, we'll see or not yet. We'll see or not yet. Okay. I didn't get the listing. Okay. Not yet. Oh, they listed with someone else. Okay. We'll see. We'll see if it sells. Maybe I'll be the second. Maybe I'll be the rebound agent. You know, it happens all the time. You don't get the listing and then they list it for 500 grand over recommended, right? It's like, come on, so I'm always playing the long game. We'll see. We'll see because I'm always willing to go longer than my competition. I'm willing to go longer. I'm willing to not give up. I have refined my discipline to do that. And so I just overall, even if they list it, even if I have a buyer buy a home with someone else, okay, great. No problem. I am now going to be following up with that buyer
As a
so
seller.
that I get the listing, right? Because I know statistically 90% of all agents never talk to their buyer again after they buy a home. I'll give you another thing that I think about recently. The only reason I work with buyers, there are two reasons I work with buyers.
Hmm.
Okay. Number one, they own a home already and will have to sell it in the future. Okay. Number two, they will buy a home and I will list that home in the
In the
future.
future.
Okay. So, man with a hammer tendency, the man in the hammer tendency states that when a man's holding a hammer, all problems tend to be nails. Okay. So when you're
Mhm.
working with a
I like that.
buyer, when you're working with a buyer, you see him as a buyer. I don't see anyone as buyers. Nobody wakes up with the dream of being a buyer in real estate. People wake up with the dream of being an owner, right? So why give them buying advice? Give them home owner advice.
Yeah.
See, you got to see when you're an agent that can see past the target, buying a home is the goal, but the ultimate goal is home ownership, is real estate investing, is wealth accumulation. So when you talk to people, I talked about the stated goal, right? Let's
Yes.
state the goal. That's the goal, but what's the ultimate goal? What's the relationship goal? So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, my immediate goal would be to sell your home for the most money in the least amount of time. My ultimate goal is to also help you holistically through your real estate investment journey and get to the next place. Sell it for the most money so you have the most amount of equity that you can redeploy, redistribute into more real estate or other retirement apparatus so that you can increase your wealth over time or increase your quality of life. Does that make sense? Right. So there's always the goal and the ultimate goal.
How do you want to help them in the future? How do you improve their life?
Yes, yes. Because it's cliche to say client for life, but see, I'm going back, and that cliche, there's something there. So go deeper in that cliche. I work with clients for life. I'm relationship based business, not a transactional based business. Okay. Right. So that's part of it. The client can feel that. I can tell you this, they can feel it because they haven't experienced that from other interactions with agents. Their interactions with other agents or the experience they've had in their head before they've had it is that agent's just going to try to sell me a home. That agent's just gonna try to list my home. They just want commissions, right? They're not on my side, right? So for me, I always had a goal, a kind of like a hidden agenda or like a challenge where I wanted the person, the prospect, the lead, the client to say in their head or out loud, he's different. He's not like everyone else. I've had other agents. This
Say that they
one's
like you.
yeah, it's like, wow, there's something about this guy, his conscientiousness, his detail. He's not really trying to impress us with his personality. He asks really poignant questions. He makes us think. He doesn't pressure us, but for some reason he gets us to make decisions. Right? See, I don't pressure people. I just get them to make decisions.
Show them the way.
Show them the way. Show
Yeah,
them the way.
I love that.
I love it. I absolutely love real estate. I absolutely love sales, and I didn't know it. So that's a first agent. That's just what you need to be thinking about. And I think it's a formula that's worked for me. Over the last 15 years, probably sold 5,000 homes and helped train thousands of agents on similar things.
And
So,
you're still running your own real estate team.
yep.
Yeah, how many people are in your team right now? How many
Yeah, so
agents?
right now our team is around 30 people on the team.
It's pretty good. And
Uh,
you're
thir-
selling.
thir- 30 sales agents, and then we'll have support staff of 7 people
Nice.
to support them.
So that's a full-time job right there, beside the coaching and all that stuff that you do. It's
Yep.
amazing. And you manage to do all this stuff just by having a clear mindset and a schedule, I guess, to
Yeah. Yeah.
follow.
There's lots of things on time management,
Yeah.
and I can solve almost everyone's time management issues really quickly. And that is just take care of anything that can be taken care of in the moment, take care of it in the moment.
Mm.
Just work on your muscle of, there's a muscle you have to define or strengthen, and that is this temperance or this ability to do things now and not put things off, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say I have somebody that wants me to come over and look at their house, or maybe look at homes. It is a lot of agents' baseline is okay, what works for you? What works for you tomorrow? What works for you this weekend? What works for you next week? They're always putting the appointment in the future. And if they had this muscle of urgency, because we don't know how busy or what our capacity is going to be like in the future, they would say, how does it look like today? Can I come over to your house today? I learned this from Tony Robbins, and I don't know who he learned it from, probably Jim Rohn. Is now a good time? Is now a good time?
Yeah.
And I'm and there's always a dichotomy to everything, right? We don't want to pop tart, and we don't want to we don't want to show them like we're not on the schedule. We don't want to set the wrong expectation that when they say jump, we say how high. But at the same time, we want to wow them with our urgency. Because if I want to get someone motivated, I need my pace needs to be a faster pace. If I have buyers working slowly, it's probably because I'm working slowly. If I have sellers dragging their feet, it's probably because I'm dragging my feet. So I'm always on this urgency. By the way, people want to work with experts in their fields and the perceived deal maker. So if you want to be perceived as a deal maker, deal maker, think about it. Are deal makers Johnny on the spots? Are deal makers do they procrastinate? Do deal makers jump when the opportunity exists, right?
Of course.
100%. So urgency. You're
We say,
available. Yeah.
yeah, we say hit the steel while it's hot.
Yes.
That's in our
Yes.
culture, right? Hit it,
Head of
don't wait until
steel.
it's
Say
cool.
that again.
Hit the steel while it's hot,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Oh, hit the steel while it's hot.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so that is these are lessons I didn't know when I got into real estate, which
You
is
learn from
this:
life.
time kills deals.
Yeah.
Time kills deals.
I love that
It's
one.
like it's like Mission Impossible. You know, Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, or the
Yeah.
like this. There's a bomb. When the
And yeah,
bomb blows up,
the
it's done.
fuse is burning.
The fuse is burning, and
Yeah.
the top producers, the successful real estate agents, they have this internal countdown timer. And the closer it gets, the closer that fuse gets to the bomb, the more they turn it up. And it comes across as relentless. It comes across as almost OCD, as obsessive. But you need to be able to turn that thing on. And see,
Nice. Yeah.
when you're a new agent, you do have urgency. You're going to run out of money if you don't make a sale,
You're
right?
paying. Yeah. You're paying for fees and stuff. And
Yeah. So you find that urgency. Your availability is your greatest ability. Your availability is your greatest ability.
Nick, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you and appreciate your time. And, it's always a pleasure because I learn something new every day from you. And how can somebody get a hold of you, Nick? Like they want to reach out, they want to learn from you, they want to, absorb the wealth of information. How can
Yeah,
somebody find you?
yeah. The best way to find me, I'm on all social media platforms. Nick McLean, and it's MC Lean. That's my DJ name, MC
MC
Lean.
Lean. Awesome.
M Clean. And also, like you said, pick up my book, Million Dollar Agent, the proven playbook to build a real estate empire. It's on Amazon, Kindle. You can also get the Audible version of it. And it's not, it was written for, I wanted it to be something that you'd have on your desk that you wouldn't just plow through, kind of like Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's not made to just read. It's like there's going to be a time and place, a season and a reason for you to look at the book.
Right.
You can't just read it and then just implement everything. It's like you're going to implement things and you're going to learn. You're like, okay, now I need to install this part of it. And it's not just for teams, but it's for agents. So there's amazing marketing in there, marketing ideas, lead generation ideas, also team building ideas, and building a business ideas. Very fundamental. Should stand the test of time. So yeah, definitely that's the best way to find me. Million Dollar Agent, Nick McLean. Find me online. Love to hear from you guys. Always a pleasure to talk to you. I really appreciate your mission and to empower other agents to get better and have a great career too. So we're
I learn
aligned in
from
that
I
way.
learn from the best.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Take care.
And we'll be in touch. Hopefully, people will reach out, and I'm sure they will. Anybody that takes their business seriously, they would have to reach out.
Awesome. I'm here.